Hi everyone, we will continue our chapter 3rd of history, that is the nationalism in India. So our topic is different strands within the movement. So as we know, the non-cooperation Khilafat movement began in January 1921. Right. So the various social groups participated in this movement. Even the middle class was mainly involved initially in the non-cooperation movement which was begun in India. Now the first topic is the movement in the towns. So the movement started with the middle class participation in the cities. Now the question is, how did the non-cooperation movement started with the participation of middle class people in the cities, and what was its impact on the economic front? So the answer will be first point. For the movement, the middle class population participated in the cities. It includes students, teachers and lawyers. Second, students and teachers refused to go to the public or the government schools and colleges. Why? Because these schools and colleges were run by the British government or established by the British government. And even the lawyers also gave up their legal practices. Next point, the council elections were boycotted. So the council elections were very important for the Congress party. They were looking forward for this to have seats in the council. But Gandhiji refused and he said, we have to boycott all the British services and refuse to cooperate with the Britishers. Only then the British rule in India will end or collapse. Next point, the people of India started protesting against the British rule. Even the rich and poor boycotted the foreign goods like clothes, and also the liquor shops were picketed. In many places, the merchants and the traders refused to trade the foreign goods. So in this manner, the middle class population participated in the cities to protest against the British rule in a peaceful way. The non-cooperation movement with the middle class participation in the cities was gradually slowed down. Now the question is, why did the non-cooperation movement gradually slow down in the cities? So the reasons are, the first reason is, as the middle class people like the students and teachers boycott the British institution, right? So for the movement to be successful, the alternative Indian institutes had to be set up so that they could be used in place of the British ones, right? But due to the lack of the alternate Indian educational institute, the students and the teachers began to return back and join their services. The Indian citizens had decided to boycott all the foreign goods, including the foreign milk cloth, which was very cheap. Whereas on the other hand, the Indian cloth, or we can say the khadi cloth, was very expensive. And even the poor people could not afford to buy it. So how could they boycott the milk cloth for a long time? So these were the reasons because of which the movement in the cities gradually slowed down. Okay. Now our next topic is rebellion in the countryside. A countryside basically means the rural area. So from the cities, the non-cooperation movement spread to the countrysides. And in this topic, we will learn about the struggle of peasants and tribals. Okay, so we'll start with the peasants. Firstly, we learned about the struggle of peasants. In Awadh, the peasants were led by the Baba Ramchandra, who was a labor of Pisi Island. The movement in Awadh was basically against the Tulakdars or the landlords, who demand high rents from the peasants, and during that time the beggar system was there in Awadh. Now, what is beggar system? Beggar system means the peasant had to work at the landlord's farm without any payment, and peasant had no work security. So because of which peasants demanded to abolish the Bekar system and reduction in revenue. So in 1920, the Jawaharlal Nehru began going around the villages in Awadh, talking to the villagers and understood their problem. So in October, the Awadh Kisan Sabha was set up under the supervision of Jawaharlal Nehru and the Baba Ramchandra. The Awadh Kisan Sabha became so popular that within a month, around 300 branches were set up in nearby areas of Awadh. In 1921, the movement spread. The houses of Tulaktars and merchants were attacked. Bazaars were looted and the food grains godown were taken over, because of which the Congress leadership was unhappy. And even in many places, the local leaders told peasants that Gandhiji had declared that no taxes were to be paid and land was to be distributed among poor. But Gandhiji didn't give any such order. Some local leaders or some people interpreted, or we can say manipulated, the message of Mahatma Gandhi and the ideas of Swaraj in yet another way. Now we'll discuss the struggle of tribal people. In your previous classes, you have learnt about some Forest Act which was implemented by the British government, in which the forest area of India is categorized into three parts, that is the reserved forest, the protected forest and the village forest, because of which the grazing and the hunting activities were restricted and many communities lost their livelihood. In the Godim hills of Andhra Pradesh, a militant movement spread in 1920s by the tribal people. It is not a form of struggle which Congress party could approve, as in the forest areas the British government had closed the large forest region, because of which the tribal people were very upset, and not only their livelihood affected, but they felt that their traditional rights were denied and they were very angry. So a person came to lead them. He was an interesting figure, that is the Alluri Sitaram Raju, who claimed that he had a variety of special powers, like he could make correct predictions and he could heal people and he could survive even the bullet shots. So Raju talked about of the greatness of Mahatma Gandhi and said he was inspired by the non-cooperation movement, and but on the same time he believed that the India could be free only by the use of force. So the tribal people followed him and the tribal people attacked the police stations. They also attempt to kill British officials, and because of which the Sitaram Raju was captured by Britishers and he was executed in 1924 by the Britishers. So we can say that the Sitaram Raju believed in the ideology of Gandhiji, like the non-cooperation movement, but he asserted that India could only get freedom by violence or by force. Now it's time to another story, that is the Swaraj in the plantation. So here we are talking about the tea plantation. As we know, during the British Raj, the tea was grown mainly in the northeast states of India, especially Assam. In Assam, the plantation worker wanted two things, basically the freedom. For them, freedom means the right to move freely in and out of the confined agricultural field, and they wanted to retain the link with their villages from which they had come. But it was not possible because of the Inland Immigration Act, which was passed by the British government in 1859. So the Inland Immigration Act means the plantation workers were not allowed or permitted to leave the tea garden without the permission of British officials. When the workers of plantation heard of the non-cooperation movement, they acted in their own way in the name of Mahatma Gandhi. So the thousands of the workers left the tea garden and headed toward their houses. and they believed that the Gandhi Raj was coming and everyone would be given land in their own villages. However, they never reached their destination and they were caught by the police and beaten up by the police. So, again, we can say that the people of India interpreted the term Swaraj in their own way. There was an incident took place in 1922 at Chauri Chaura, a place in Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh, where the civilians were protesting against the Britishers to support the Gandhiji's non-cooperation movement. So the protest was slightly went violent. Why? Because the police fired up on the civilians. So the protesters responded and they burned up the police station of Chauri Chaura, where 22 policemen and 3 civilians died. And after hearing of the incident, Gandhiji called off the non-cooperation movement in the whole nation. So, as we have learned that the non-cooperation movement failed, or can say take aggressive turn in some parts of the country. So Gandhiji decided that before starting any movement in whole nation, he had to educate the people about the movement because people were misinterpreting his idea.